Right, in this video, we're going to simplify a third. So we show that square root of 12 plus the square root of 48 over root 2 can be expressed in the form of root p, where p is an integer. Show you're working clearly. Now, this words here are put in the question because we all know we can put this into our calculator and get an answer. But you need to put the working out in. So any attempt to do it just on the calculator will probably receive 0 marks. So taking our third, root 12 plus root 48, all divided by root 2. Now, first of all, you look at 12 and 48 and try to find a square number which goes into them. So 4 goes into this one and 16 goes into this one. So we're going to rewrite the top one as 4 times 3, square root of 4 times 3, and the top one, the square root of 16 times 3. We'll leave the root 2 as root 2 because it's already in its simplest form. Then we're going to use this idea here. The square root of a times b is the same as the square root of a times the square root of b. So this b times the square root of 4 times the square root of 3. And the square root of 4 is 2. So this will become 2 root 3. Similarly, this will become the square root of 16 times the square root of 3. So the square root of 16 is 4. So this will become 4 root 3 divided by root 2. Now 2 plus 4 makes 6. So we now have 6 lots of root 3 over root 2. Now, we now need to do what's known as rationalizing the denominator. So rationalizing the denominator means if this is root 2, we will need to multiply it by root 2. And we need to do the same to the denominator. We can do it as long as we do it to both the denominator and the numerator. Right, so on the top we're going to get 6 times root 3 times root 2, using this sort of rule in backwards. And on the bottom, using the idea that root a times root a is the same as root a squared. So if you square root something and then square it, you get back to what you started with. Or if you square it and square root it, you get back to what you started with. So the bottom just becomes, so that becomes a, so the denominator will just become 2. This is why we multiplied by root 2 top and bottom. So this now, the 2 will cancel with the 6, so we're left with 3 root 6. But we know this is not in the correct format. This is in the format a root p or q root p. We just want it in root p. So but basically, we've now got to use this rule backwards. So if we take 3 into the square root sign, it becomes 9. So this becomes 9 times 6, and that gives me an answer of square root of 54, which is in the correct format. So this has been a video to show you how to simplify a third. I hope you've understood, and I thank you very much for watching.